Hello, I'm APXToyCat, and big news, Minecraft just got an upgrade and is now native on the Series S/X consoles. This was buried at the bottom of the Chase the Skies announcement, and you might have assumed that it was actually the enhancement that came in 2023. It was listed on the changelog at the time as being a 4K upgrade, but as we discovered a couple of weeks ago, this actually just made the console aware of the Series X hardware, but it wasn't capable of utilizing it truly. And this is kind of akin to how Minecraft runs on the Switch 2, better than before, but still needing upgrade. However, if we go into Minecraft right now and go to Manage Games and Add-ons and into the file info, you can see right there that it says Xbox Gen 9. In other words, this is Minecraft natively built for the Series S and X. The more proof of that, I think, is the fact that the logo right here says Minecraft XS, and that means that we have a Minecraft that is truly capable of running on the Xbox, and that is really good news for anyone because it means that vibrant visuals will run well on the platform and all of your other settings should be upgraded too, which means if we jump right in here, 36 chunks of render distance is now the standard. It's a shame that that can't go higher, but the big reason why is because vibrant visuals is of course now the focus, and if we slide into vibrant visuals, you can see that we will still be able to get, even with this turned on, up to 28 chunks of deferred render distance, which is very, very nice in my opinion. And so that means that we can play Minecraft Xbox with a nice upgrade, as I answer your questions about this being real. Because yes, the announcement of this disc and an entire update just to contain it does not feel real in the slightest, but Lava Chicken has really made its way into Minecraft, or will make its way into Minecraft in a surprise update soon. If you're curious, does this therefore make the Minecraft movie canon? Interestingly, the director of the movie jumped in to say, no it is not, and what's even more interesting than that is the fact that this isn't actually the version from the movie. If you haven't heard it yet, Minecraft actually commissioned Hyper Potions, the people who made a lot of the Sonic Mania soundtrack, they're very good in my opinion, to make a pretty fun version that contains villager noises. I just think it's really good. It might be my favorite disc in Minecraft, and even though I don't go all the way to Inky Plant who says, I think Minecraft should make more references to features like these because it gives the game that indie game feeling and makes it feel less corporate, I agree, they should reference more literally billion-dollar properties. That is the easiest way to make Minecraft feel indie, but I do feel like this is a pretty cool disc, and I'm excited for the update that contains it. However, to come back to your comment, StealthWolf69420, it will be coming to Minecraft in 1.20 1.7. That update still has not come out at time of recording, but we expect it literally a couple of days from now, but it isn't necessarily coming in 1.20 1.100. If the plan was to add it in that update, it would have been in a beta or preview by now, and so I suspect that they're going to roll out a hotfix sometime in the next week maybe, for the Bedrock version 1.20 1.93 that might just contain it. So we literally might be getting our hands on this new disc in 2 to 3 days, or it might be literally August by the time we're playing with it. We do not know the answer, and isn't that part of the fun? Actually, I don't think it is. The uncertainty seems like quite a bad thing, but you know what is a good thing? Anyway though, although there's confusion about when that disc is coming to the game for Xbox and all other Bedrock players, there isn't confusion about when it's coming to Java, because as Lord Maxadoom points out, yeah, it's coming in Snapshot 1.20 1.7, but this drop so far only includes a disc and a paint, that's all. The cancelled Hytale issue has left Mojang feeling more relaxed about the competition. It's clear they don't even need to make an effort anymore, which is why we need Hytale. I immediately thought in response to this, this is that classic case where if you care about something, everything in the world seems to warp around it, and in this person's case it's Hytale, but it does point out a real flaw in how update names work on Java, because there are major updates, which are 1.xx, 1.21, 1.20, but then the difference between tiny bug fixes that take them 3 days and major content updates that take them 3 months are literally not differentiated, so if you're not following Minecraft updates closely, this might look like it's a drop that contains just 2 features, but actually it's a bug fix which contains 2 features, and the difference between those 2 things is disappointment or, oh, what a nice surprise. And isn't it crazy there's no way to know which it is without following every single update before it? Java needs to fix those numbers sooner rather than later, and speaking of fixing things, Hytale is of course gone. I mean, I don't know if you could tell from that tweet, but in fact it is gone, and a lot of people said in response to my video yesterday that this is premature because obviously the game is going to be saved. Maybe Simon is going to jump in here and save it, and I'd like to quickly just mention this because people have been asking other developers, including Concerned Ape, if they would save Hytale, and the response has always been a bit non non-committal. Concerned Ape said, well, possibly, but I'd have to hear more about the plan is and how it failed, etc. And people even asked Simon from Hypixel, the original founder of the server and the person who came up with the idea way back when, and basically they asked him and he just said, well, I haven't seen the game since 2019, so it would be hard for me to know if it's worth looking into. It seems like the chapter is truly closed. I do have the money to run a 30-person team for a while now, but there are over 150, so I'm not sure what kind of beast it is to handle. He did then jump in response to Tubbo here, saying that, don't bully me into buying it, I'm living a peaceful life, and then he says in response, well, look, I get it 100%, I'd even be willing to put $25 million in to finish Hytale, that's how much I believe in it. However, he does say that he's not reached out, he's thinking about it because of the bullying, it'd be a massive challenge and impact all aspects of my life, so I'd need to consult my family first. A lot of people took this as meaning, oh my god, Hypixel is going to buy Hypixel Studios back. However, keep in mind that the first problem is that he needs to get the Hypixel Studios to sell it. They are presumably going to be going through bankruptcy proceedings, and that means that their stuff will have to be sold, or at the very least Riot Games is going to want to part with it for some amount of money, given that they spent so much. 25 million US dollars might not be enough to get you through the door, because in their mind this is $100 million worth of product, right? So you've got to be able to buy the product in the first place, which Simon from Hypixel already kind of says, like, yeah, I could theoretically do it, but it would upheave my entire life, including with their family, etc. And even then, that's only something he's willing to do if it looks like there is any chance to reduce that scope and get it actually out there. And so I think that this is effectively saying, maybe you can build something out of Hytale's corpse, but you're not going to get the same Hytale which has been built up over all of these years, and that might seem kind of sad, but it is the reality. Speaking of reality, I got a comment on my video essay that came out this week saying, whoa, the scenery outside looks so cool, where is that? And if you're curious, most of the video was recorded in Leicester. I was there for a couple of hours and I decided to record in a bunch of like cool old places in the city. I was surprised at how old so much of it was, yeah, that was where most of the video was. But one of my proudest shots was actually, because I was talking about Minecraft becoming a big business, and I wanted to use the one thing that everyone in the UK points to when we talk about big corporations, which is Canary Wharf, and I think I had a really nice shot in the video for that.
Because let's be honest, it's big business now.
I was really happy I found a place where I could get that shot in, where it would actually be like kind of a reveal. And yeah, I really enjoy recently adding kind of like Minecraft to the real world, or talking about Minecraft in the real world. I think it is a nice touch to the videos, and I'm glad that other people are liking it too. But speaking of things that people are liking from outside of the PC, Alison Gaffney 374 says, I went into my settings in Minecraft and tried to use vibrant visuals, but it won't work. Toycat, can you please help me? So here's the thing about vibrant visuals. It is actually a bit tricky to enable, because if you are already in a world, you can't enable vibrant visuals. You can only ever downgrade your visuals in a world, not upgrade it to vibrant visuals, and so you need to be on the main menu, and then you need your device to meet these minimum specifications, and then if you're playing on the lower end of those specifications, you need to go through this warning talking about how it's really not that good of an idea, but that's how you turn on vibrant visuals. If you don't meet those specs and you're not in the menu and you don't go through that little warning, then you will not be able to have vibrant visuals in your world, which is to say nothing about the small chance that you're playing the Java edition of the game, where of course there's no vibrant visuals at all. It's going to be a slow rollout, and to make up for it, Java gets this fun Easter egg instead. And I wanted to talk about this Easter egg specifically as it relates to this comment, because the AlexOS says, can you imagine if Mojang added more realistic clouds? And it's an interesting point, because I had this debate in the real world about whether having a creeper face in the clouds, Java only feature, is realistic, and it seems like it's not at first when you look at it, but actually isn't this how clouds work in the real world? We constantly see things that aren't actually there, because that's what we do. We look at clouds and we imagine our reality onto them. I kind of like that Minecraft allows you to do this, and I'd love to see this move its way over to Bedrock. Maybe if we're adding vibrant visuals to Java anyway, we could also add this to Bedrock, and also the new disk to Bedrock at the same time. Cool idea, I think. Speaking of cool ideas, are we going to talk about the fact that the end has a whole arse sun now that just moves? Does anyone find that odd? So yeah, if you have vibrant visuals and you haven't been following the development of it, you might find it weird that there's a whole source of light in the end, and at first I thought this was a silly comment, but actually if you haven't experienced the end and you don't know it's meant to be a supernova flash, it does just look like a sun that's moving and randomly flashing in and out, which is maybe how the universe works, but is definitely jarring and confusing for anyone new, which is one of the fun reasons why I think Minecraft has problems with getting feedback solely from the small percent of their players that keep up with snapshots and also feel very online about it, and it's the problem that, like, things that feel really good to long-term Minecraft players who understand exactly what changes are being made and when are going to feel very different to the average Minecraft player who might just go, oh, here is a new thing, isn't that strange? And that's the interesting balance they have to make as developers. Speaking of interesting balance, will they ever release a legacy edition of Minecraft digitally? I don't think so. I think your best bet is probably either PlayStation or Xbox re-releasing or letting you emulate those versions on newer consoles. I don't think they're ever going to bring it back as a version of the game. I think that Minecraft would much prefer that you forget that those versions exist, because obviously some of that revenue needs to go to 4J Studios, who developed it, and also because it's not the version of the game that they actively put a bunch of work into putting on consoles. Is that a shame? Yes. Could it happen? I think the answer is also yes. I just don't think it's a priority from Minecraft's perspective, and that's why I think you'll have to wait some time, you know, like maybe in 10 or 15 or 20 years, they might include it as a bonus in some form of re-release, but I wouldn't get your expectations up too high. Speaking of having your expectations high, Toycat, please just release a free new add-on, says Mohammed Jasmine Udin KN2DS, and honestly, this is a fun idea. I would like to be clear here that I do not have the ability to release free add-ons. Releasing free things on the marketplace is something you have to get prior approval for. I'm pretty sure that's public information. The reason that things aren't free is not just because presumably people want to be paid for their stuff, but it's also because you literally can't just decide to do that, which I think would be a cool thing to do with like older pieces of content. It'd be cool if after say, 5 years we could make Ultra Hard Survival Scorched free as a fun way for people to play my first ever map that I made publicly. I think that that sort of stuff would be cool, but again, not necessarily permitted. So the closest thing that you can do to that is you can set your price to the minimum tier. I think that's 160 Minecoins, but I think there's an interesting psychological problem where people see something that costs $1 and they don't think, oh, this is the closest to free the person can make something. They'll think, oh, this is a add-on that is only worth $1. I think that it's the same way that if you saw milk that only cost 8 cents or something like that, you would just be very suspicious of the milk. You wouldn't assume, wow, what a great deal I'm getting. Whereas, free milk, you'd be like, well, I guess they've got too much and need to get rid of it. It's a very interesting psychology there. I would love for it to be wrong. I would love to produce a $1 add-on that people thought was good. Do you disagree with that? Comments? Let me know down below, because I would absolutely love to make, an add-on that was just tweaking a bunch of things of hard difficulty and that would be as cheap as humanly possible. I would love to do that, but I am convinced that genuinely fewer people would buy it, and because in theory at $2 you could get half as many sales and make the same amount of money, but I think you would literally make more sales at $2 than $1. That is my crazy opinion. Do you agree with it, internet? Let me know, because I'm going to enjoy ending this video, because I'm gonna go have a great dinner now. I actually, funny on the subject of free, I got this air quotes free credit to use at like any fancy restaurant in London for £100, and it's like, again, I wouldn't be going to any fancy restaurant if it weren't for the fact that it were free, and if I was going to a restaurant that said it was fancy and free, I would be cautious, but because it's like, oh, spend £100, get the 100 back, I find that to be something that's quite fun, so I'm gonna go and do that and hopefully have a great time with it tonight. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for my deep dive into the new Vibrant Visuals update, and have a great weekend, everyone, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.